Have you been drinking 8 glasses of water a day but still feeling fatigued? Noticing cold extremities? Or experiencing inconsistent vitality? What if the problem isn't how much water you're drinking, but what's missing from that water? There's a critical shift that happens in your body after 50 that makes plain water surprisingly inefficient, and 3 specific minerals that can transform ordinary hydration into a circulation powerhouse. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal the exact mineral combination backed by cardiovascular research that optimizes blood flow, supports vascular health, and may even enhance erectile function. I'll also explain the precise ratios you need and the one common mistake that undermines everything. I'm Dr. Vera Blake, a urologist who's spent over a decade specializing in vascular health and male sexual function. Here's what the clinical data consistently shows. After 50, your body's relationship with water fundamentally changes. This isn't about drinking more, it's about upgrading what you drink. That's exactly what we're addressing today. Before we dive in, if you value evidence-based strategies for optimizing your health, subscribe to this channel. And let me know, have you noticed decreased energy or circulation issues despite staying hydrated? If yes, type 1 in the comments right now. I release daily content that translates medical research into practical solutions, and I don't want you to miss information that could genuinely transform your vitality. Now, here's the physiological reality most men don't understand. After 50, your kidneys become less efficient at conserving both water and the minerals dissolved in it. Electrolytes are minerals that have an electric charge when dissolved in water or body fluids, including blood. Your thirst mechanism dulls, meaning you often don't recognize dehydration until it's already impacting function. And perhaps most critically, your vascular system, those thousands of miles of blood vessels responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients to every tissue, begins to lose flexibility. The blood electrolytes, sodium, potassium, chloride, and bicarbonate, help regulate nerve and muscle function and maintain acid-base balance and water balance. Without adequate mineral content, water passes through your system without properly hydrating your cells. You're essentially irrigating the surface while the deeper tissues remain parched. Let me tell you about a patient I worked with 6 months ago. A 58-year-old man came to my office complaining of persistent fatigue, cold hands and feet, and increasingly unreliable erectile function. His cardiovascular workup was unremarkable. His hormone levels were acceptable. But when we examined his dietary mineral intake and ran comprehensive electrolyte panels, we found subclinical deficiencies across multiple minerals, particularly magnesium and potassium. We didn't prescribe medication. We modified his hydration strategy by adding specific minerals to his water intake. Within 6 weeks, his energy stabilized, his circulation improved measurably, and his erectile function normalized. He told me, "I didn't realize how depleted I was until I actually felt what proper hydration feels like." That transformation wasn't magic. It was physiology. Let's walk through the 3 essential minerals that make this possible, starting with the most critical for vascular function. Mineral number 1, magnesium, the vascular relaxation mineral. Magnesium contributes to blood pressure regulation by promoting the relaxation of blood vessel walls, a process called vasodilation. This is why I call magnesium the vascular relaxation mineral. It doesn't just support circulation, it's required for it. Magnesium serves as a critical cofactor for endothelial nitric oxide synthase, and its deficiency significantly compromises nitric oxide production while simultaneously enhancing oxidative stress, thereby diminishing the essential vasodilatory capacity required for penile erection. That's not abstract theory. That's the mechanism by which blood vessels throughout your body, including those responsible for erectile function, maintain their ability to expand and accommodate blood flow. Here's why this matters specifically for men over 50. The relationship between magnesium and testosterone was independent of body mass index, inflammatory markers, and other hormonal factors. When magnesium levels are adequate, your arteries can relax. Blood moves smoothly. Pressure stays balanced. Your cardiovascular system doesn't have to fight against constricted vessels. But when magnesium is depleted, which happens increasingly after 50 due to reduced dietary intake, medications that deplete minerals, and age-related absorption changes, your smooth muscle tissue, including that lining your blood vessels and penile tissue, remains in a state of constriction. Blood flow becomes restricted. Performance becomes inconsistent. Dietary potassium, magnesium, and calcium have an inverse correlation with cardiovascular events and risk factors, especially with blood pressure. The clinical data is unambiguous. Adequate magnesium intake correlates with improved vascular health and reduced cardiovascular risk. The practical application is straightforward. A small, consistent dose of magnesium, whether from mineral-rich water, food sources like dark leafy greens and nuts, or a supplement like magnesium glycinate, can produce measurable changes within weeks. Blood vessels regain responsiveness, circulation improves, and for many men, erectile reliability returns. Mineral number 2, potassium, the electrical balance regulator. The second essential mineral is potassium, and its role is equally critical yet far less understood. Potassium acts as a counterbalance to sodium. It helps to relax the walls of blood vessels, which reduces tension in the arteries and allows blood to flow more easily. Potassium helps your cells, heart, and muscles work properly. This isn't just about preventing muscle cramps. Potassium maintains the electrical gradient across cell membranes that allows your heart to beat rhythmically, your nerves to transmit signals efficiently, and your blood vessels to respond dynamically to changing demands. Here's the challenge. After 50, most men consume far less potassium than their bodies require. The modern diet, heavy in processed foods and light on fresh produce, creates a chronic potassium deficit. Getting enough of some electrolytes, such as potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, can be challenging, particularly if you're not eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. This imbalance has direct vascular consequences. When potassium is low and sodium is high, the typical Western dietary pattern, blood vessels become less responsive. They lose their ability to dilate efficiently. Blood pressure rises, and the delicate endothelial lining of your arteries, which produces the nitric oxide required for erections, becomes dysfunctional. I had a patient in his early 60s who described his circulation as sluggish. His blood pressure was borderline elevated. His erectile function was intermittent. We adjusted his mineral intake by adding a potassium-rich electrolyte blend to his morning water. Just a half scoop of a low-sugar powder providing approximately 300 milligrams of potassium. Within 3 weeks, his blood pressure normalized. Within 6 weeks, his circulation felt lighter, as he described it, and his erectile function became consistently reliable. The mechanism is elegant. Potassium and sodium work in partnership. Sodium primarily governs fluid balance. When sodium levels increase, the body retains more water, leading to increased blood volume. Potassium counterbalances this by promoting sodium excretion and vascular relaxation. When this balance is optimized, your cardiovascular system operates efficiently. Mineral number 3, sodium, the cellular hydration gatekeeper. Now let's address sodium, which has been demonized in health discourse but is actually essential when used correctly. I'm not talking about the refined table salt in processed foods. I'm referring to a small pinch of high-quality sea salt, or Himalayan salt, added to water, particularly in the morning. Chloride, which is found in sodium chloride, salt, also helps control the amount of fluid in the body. In addition, it helps maintain healthy blood volume and blood pressure. When you drink plain water without any mineral content, especially in large quantities, your body often can't retain it effectively. You may notice frequent urination shortly after drinking. This is because without sodium, water cannot cross efficiently into your cells where hydration actually occurs. Sodium functions as a cellular gatekeeper. It helps your body absorb and retain water inside cells, where it supports electrical balance, nerve function, and muscle performance. Electrolytes, particularly sodium, help the body maintain normal fluid levels in the fluid compartments because the amount of fluid a compartment contains depends on the amount of electrolytes in it. Here's the critical distinction. The refined table salt found in processed foods is stripped of trace minerals. It's just sodium chloride without the balancing elements. In contrast, unrefined sea salt, or Himalayan salt, contains dozens of natural trace minerals, including magnesium, calcium, and potassium. Together, they create cellular harmony, improving not only hydration, but also circulation and energy stability. The practical application: add just a small pinch, no more than what fits on the tip of your finger, into a large glass of water in the morning. You're not adding saltiness. You're adding structure and electrical charge that makes water biologically recognizable and usable. Many of my patients report immediate changes. Their energy feels steadier, their mental clarity improves, and that afternoon fatigue they attributed to aging begins to dissipate. Here's what makes this approach clinically powerful. These minerals don't work in isolation, they function synergistically. Electrolytes are essential for basic life functioning, such as maintaining electrical neutrality in cells and generating and conducting action potentials in the nerves and muscles. Magnesium relaxes your blood vessels. Potassium maintains the electrical gradient that keeps your cardiovascular system responsive. Sodium ensures that the water carrying these minerals actually enters your cells. When all three are optimized, you're not just hydrating, you're restoring vascular function at a cellular level. Evidence for a positive association between sodium chloride intake and blood pressure exists, but increasing evidence also suggests that dietary patterns associated with low intakes of potassium, calcium, and possibly magnesium also contribute to higher levels of blood pressure. The key is balance, not elimination. Here's your simple evidence based action plan. Every morning, start with 16 to 20 ounces of water with a small pinch of high quality sea salt or Himalayan salt. This primes cellular hydration and sets your mineral foundation for the day. Consider adding a magnesium supplement, magnesium glycinate or citrate, 300 to 400 milligrams daily, or increasing magnesium rich foods like spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and dark chocolate. After exercise or on hot days, add a potassium rich electrolyte blend to your water. Look for products with minimal sugar, approximately 300 to 500 milligrams of potassium per serving. Prioritize whole foods rich in these minerals: leafy greens, avocados, bananas, sweet potatoes, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Within 1 to 2 weeks of consistent implementation, most men notice subtle but undeniable changes. Energy becomes steadier, mental clarity improves, the heavy morning sluggishness fades, and circulation, that deep, natural warmth in the body, begins to return. By week 4, the changes become more pronounced. Blood flow feels more robust, erectile function becomes more consistent. The body begins to feel responsive again in ways that may have been absent for years. This isn't about reversing aging. This is about supporting the physiology you still have with the minerals it requires to function optimally. Let me return to the patient I mentioned earlier. We addressed his magnesium intake, added morning mineralized water, and incorporated a potassium rich electrolyte blend post exercise. 2 months later, he said something that captures the essence of this approach. I didn't realize how much my body was struggling until I gave it what it actually needed. The difference isn't dramatic in any single moment, it's cumulative. It's the feeling of waking up with energy, maintaining that energy, and having my body respond when I need it to. That's the goal, not pharmaceutical intervention, not synthetic enhancement, just intelligent nutritional support that aligns with your body's physiological requirements. If this information clarified something you've been experiencing, subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment sharing which mineral you're most efficient in or which strategy you're implementing first. I read every response, and your experiences inform the content I create. And if this could help someone you know, share it. Knowledge about foundational health shouldn't remain isolated. This is Dr. Vera Blake. Stay informed, stay proactive, and take care of yourself.